How to make good friends in uni. This is exactly how to do it. I'm quite an outgoing person, but initially when I came to uni, I could not transition quick enough going from a school system to a uni system. 3 years in, I think I'm doing pretty good now. I have a few different groups of friends. I have people to hold meaningful and deep conversations with. So these are the exact tips I would give my younger self who just came to uni. So making more quality friends is essentially a combination of two factors. First of all, the number of people you meet, and second of all, the probability of them becoming your good friend. So I'll break them down one by one. So the first thing is the number of people you meet. So I would say that I did not do this enough in my first year because I was so used to hanging out with the same group of people in high school. I did not realize the importance of meeting more people and then eventually turning them into my good friends. From that experience, I was able to reflect and then apply some new strategies in my second and third year, which really helped me. First of all, the easiest thing to do is really to just get connected to people living around you. So if you're a uni student, you probably live in a dorm, a student accommodation of some sort. So the thing to do is really to be very open and to leave your door open to whoever lives around you. When you first got to uni, do not hold any kind of prejudice on who's like a cool person and who's not, because you really won't get to know them until you've really talked to them. So just be open-minded. Second thing to do is to join student societies and clubs. Now I know so many people recommend this, but I cannot stress this enough. This is very important and this is one of the best way of meeting people, meeting good friends in uni. The reason being, when you meet people randomly, say through your dorm or apartment, these people are usually unfiltered. The only filter is probably that they go to the same uni as you. But then when you go to societies or clubs like sports clubs, the whole dynamic changes. Anyone who's there at that setting chose to be there intentionally. Meaning what you can do is that really think about what kind of people you want to meet and where they'll usually hang out. For example, if you're like an entrepreneur and you're interested in like starting your own business or whatnot, you might go to the entrepreneur society in your uni because most people who think like you will probably be there as well. And that's such a good way of meeting people like you. For example, for me, I was really interested in doing consulting, strategy consulting, business consulting. So that's why I joined Consulting Society. And there I really met a lot of high quality and like-minded people. And I suggest you to do the same as well. Instead of just meeting people naturally, try join different societies or join a sports club. And that's, again, a very good way of increasing the number of people you meet. And the last thing to do, which is quite underrated, I'm not sure why not a lot of people mention this, is to utilize mutual friends. Imagine a friend group, right? There's like 5 people in this friend group and you're one of them. Each person might have more than one friend group. And if you ask your friend to bring you to meet their other friends, another friend group, then all of a sudden you know not just only 5 people, but you know the other friend group as well with like, say, another 5. And that's a total of 10 people that you know. So this is very underutilized, I think. A very good way of doing this is asking your friends what they have going on. And if they say that they're hanging out with some other friends, maybe you can ask them whether you can join them. And although it may be awkward initially, it gives you a very good way of meeting new people. And thinking back, in my 3 years of uni, this is actually the way where I met most of my good friends. So those are the ways you can meet more people in the first place. But then, it doesn't matter how many people you know, unless you can call some of them your good friends. So here comes the second factor, how to turn the number of people you know into the small group of people that you call your good friends. First of all, and again, probably the most important thing is to take the initiative. Take the initiative, take the initiative. It's so important, I have to say it 3 times. Thinking back, I was so passive in making friends. I get to know some people through like parties and stuff, but then I was never the one reaching out. I was always waiting for people to reach out to me, always waiting for people to text me first, always waiting for people to invite me to stuff. But then you realize the people that are the most intentional about their social circles, they're always taking the initiative, they're always asking people to hang out and stuff, they always follow up on people whom they've just met. And that's why this year I've set myself a challenge, which is to do 1 coffee chat per week. And I have to say, this is one of the best things I've done. You don't really know a person until you really sat down and had a good conversation with them. So that's the first thing you can do. Take the initiative. And that links to my second tip, which is to not be afraid of asking deep questions and skip the small talk. So you know how in parties, you always have these kind of small talks with people who you don't really know. Both of you know you're doing small talks. Both of you are feeling like awkward, but then both of you still continue to do the small talks. Yeah, such a weird thing thinking back. And my advice to this is to really skip the small talk and ask the deep personal questions. The questions that you really want to ask, you know? The questions that you want to ask, but then you're not sure if it's appropriate or not. Most of the times, it'll be fine. 2 weeks ago, I went out on a coffee chat with a friend whom I knew a bit, but then we weren't that close. And in that conversation, he asked me a lot of really deep, personal, and meaningful questions. At one point, he was asking me what I think about my own mortality. The thing is, the best conversations often happens with these kind of discussions, with these kind of topics, and that's how you really get to know a person. Don't be afraid to really go deep in a conversation. And the final thing I'll say is to keep showing up to these societies and clubs. So we mentioned how you should go to more societies and clubs. And now, once you've identified the ones that you really enjoyed, the thing you should do is to keep showing up there. Your brain will sometimes tell you otherwise, sometimes you just want to stay in, you're feeling lazy. But after 3 years in uni, if there's one thing I can tell you, is that on a particular given day, if you're given a choice to either stay lazy and be home or hang out with your friends, it's almost always better to go with the latter. It's always almost better to go to the activity, to do the hangout. You won't remember the night or the day where you were lazy and stayed at home, but then you always remember the good hangouts and the fun times you had with your friends. Don't trust your brain, don't trust your instinct. Go to the hangout, stretch your comfort zone, make yourself a bit uncomfortable in uni, because I feel like that's the way you really grow yourself, and that's the way you really grow your social circle. So that is how you make good friends in uni. Just do all these things, and then in no time, you'll see a difference in your social circle. Scroll down and click the subscribe button. Let's grow and live our best life together. Bye.